Extreme sports are known for adrenaline, for pushing the body beyond human limits. But when something goes wrong, it quickly turns into a fatal disaster. From a skydiver slamming into steel at terminal velocity, to a skier who was ripped apart by a safety net. Here are some of the most disturbing accidents caught on camera, and things only keep getting worse. It's October 5th, 2003. The crowd is gathered at the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado. Over 150 people line the walkway, watching the sky for what's about to happen. Two of the world's best skydivers are gearing up to perform a stunt that's never been done before. One will fly under the bridge. The other skydiver, Dwayne Weston, will fly over it. He's not just wearing a parachute, he's wearing a wingsuit. It's designed to turn his body into a flying machine, catching air through fabric stretched between his arms and legs. At full speed, he can glide like a bird or crash like a missile. Just before takeoff, Dwayne turns to his friend and says, "Whatever happens, happens." Then, they jump. Dwayne is flying at around 120 miles per hour. From the ground, he looks majestic, like a blur of red and black moving across the sky. But in the air, something is wrong. He miscalculates the wind. His approach angle is off. He's flying way too low. And just seconds before he's supposed to clear the bridge, he hits the steel railing at full speed.
Oh no!
His parachute deploys on impact, but it's too late. Dwayne Weston crashes into the side of a cliff 300 feet below and dies shortly after on the rocks. The crowd is terrified. People on the bridge are shocked and scream in fear. Some filmed the entire thing, and the bridge itself is dented from the force. Officials later said that he tried too hard to impress the crowd, and paid with his life. The result was one of the most horrific accidents in base jumping history. But as disturbing as it is to hit a bridge at terminal velocity, the next case is somehow even worse. This time, the athlete didn't hit steel, he hit a safety net. But instead of saving him, it actually ripped him apart.
Time and the one that Reed is there. Oh, and he's gone!
This is a picture of 21-year-old Gernot Reinstadler, taken only weeks before his first big skiing race. He's one of Austria's most talented young skiers and ready to prove himself in the most brutal qualifying race of the season. On January 18th, 1991, he's standing at the top of the Lauberhorn downhill course in Wengen, Switzerland. This isn't just any race, it's the longest and fastest downhill race in the Skiing World Cup. Over 3 miles of pure ice and speeds above 100 miles per hour, where even the smallest mistakes can quickly decide between life and death. But Gernot is focused. He's already clocked 2 solid training runs. Now all he needs is 1 clean qualification to reach the final race. He pushes off. His form is locked and his speed is insane. But his racing style looks almost a bit too aggressive for a dangerous course like this. For over 2.5 minutes, everything goes perfectly. The finish line is in sight. But suddenly, something goes terribly wrong. On the final curve, Gernot's weight shifts too far forward. His ski edge catches and he loses control.
Time and the one that Reed is there. Oh, and he's gone!
At full speed, he slams straight into the safety net. But unfortunately, the net doesn't actually save him. Instead, it catches the tip of his ski and tears his body apart. A 30-foot trail of blood follows him down the slope. Gernot is completely conscious. It seems like he doesn't even realize what had just happened. But in a matter of seconds, he's unconscious. He's airlifted to the hospital and taken into emergency surgery. But 6 hours later, at exactly 12:43 a.m., Gernot Reinstadler is declared dead. His tragedy would lead to better safety nets in alpine skiing. But for Gernot, it came too late. It's March 10th, 1996 in Mesquite, Nevada. Thousands of people are packed outside the Oasis Hotel. Cameras are rolling and the flags are still. Butch Laswell, one of the most iconic motorcycle stuntmen of his era, is preparing for the biggest jump of his life. He's already broken world records, has performed stunts across the globe, and today he wants to go even higher. His target is a 38-foot tall pedestrian bridge. He's aiming to clear it with over 50 feet of vertical air, smashing his own record from just a few years earlier. Butch lines up on his Honda CR500. He straps his helmet and is ready to jump. Then, he starts his attempt. He launches off the ramp perfectly. The crowd cheers as he rises higher and higher into the desert sky. But then, out of nowhere, a gust of wind hits him mid-air. It pushes him slightly off course. At first, it doesn't seem like much. But then, things change drastically. Instead of hitting the landing ramp, Butch flatlands from 65 feet in the air, straight onto the concrete. His body folds like paper. Paramedics rush in. He's in the middle of a huge crowd. Unconscious, he's placed in an ambulance and transferred to a rescue helicopter. But just moments later, inside that helicopter, Butch Laswell dies. His friends said he was scared of the wind that day. Others said he didn't want to disappoint the massive crowd by stepping back. But in the end, it was the wind that cost him his life. And as horrific as a concrete flatland from 65 feet sounds, the next case ends in snow, at full speed. With a final jump so poorly designed, it became a death sentence. It's March 10th, 2012, in Grindelwald, Switzerland. Nick Zoricic is competing in the 8th final of the Ski Cross World Cup season, a sport so fast and unpredictable, even the slightest mistake can leave you unconscious, or even worse. Nick isn't just some rookie. He's been on podiums, he's respected and loved by fans. And on this day, he's rushing down the icy slope, neck and neck with the best in the world. Everything is going according to plan, until the final jump. Nick launches off the lip at nearly 60 miles per hour, but something's off. His trajectory is too far right, and in a split second, he crashes headfirst into the netting at the side of the course. His body folds because of the huge impact. Viewers have no idea what just happened. At first, it looks like a bad landing. But then, he doesn't move. He's unconscious. Medical teams rush to his side and airlift him to a hospital in Interlaken. But by the time they get there, Nick Zoricic is already gone. He died doing what he loved most. And yet, many athletes and experts claim the course should never have been approved in the first place. This is a photo of Uli Steck, taken in early spring of 2017, just weeks before his trip to Nepal. Uli wasn't just a climber, he was a mountaineering legend so fast and so skilled that he earned the nickname the Swiss Machine. At just 18 years old, he climbed the north face of the Eiger, one of the most dangerous walls in the Alps. By his late 20s, he was shattering speed records, climbing routes in hours that once took days. But so far, his greatest achievement was the first solo ascent of the south face of Annapurna, a route so deadly that even the best climbers refused to attempt it. Uli had defied death more times than anyone could count. But in 2017, Everest would prove that even legends aren't immune to fatal disasters. In April 2017, Uli arrived in Nepal with an insane goal: to climb Everest without supplemental oxygen and then traverse directly to Lhotse, the world's 4th highest mountain. It was something no one had ever accomplished, and if he succeeded, it would cement his legacy as one of the greatest mountaineers of all time. But Everest doesn't care about legacies, and this time, Uli wouldn't make it back down. On April 16th, Uli's climbing partner, Tenji Sherpa, suffered frostbite and was forced to remain at base camp. Uli was now alone. For the next 2 weeks, he continued his preparation process, and his final step before the main climb was a quick solo ascent of Nuptse, a smaller peak near Everest. That evening, he texted Tenji Sherpa, telling him that he was heading out to Nuptse the next morning. Tenji replied with just one question: "Alone?" But he never responded. On the morning of April 30th, Uli set out alone. At 23,000 feet, a Sherpa spotted him making his way up the ridge. But moments later, he was gone. A sickening scream echoed down the mountain. Uli had fallen nearly 3,300 feet, the height of 3 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. His helmet, gloves, and harness were gone, most likely ripped from his body as he tumbled down the rock face. Nobody knows exactly what happened. His body was airlifted off the mountain, and the climbing world was in shock. The Swiss Machine was unstoppable, until he was gone. For years, Uli had been called reckless. Critics warned that his luck would eventually run out, and on that cold April morning in Nepal, it finally did. If you're still in the mood for more disturbing videos, then hit a like and subscribe to my channel.